Today, we're digging into a really fundamental shift in how we build AI. We're going to break down a new standard that's designed to clean up the messy, complicated reality of AI development, and honestly, to finally unlock what these intelligent systems can really do.
Okay, so let's just get right to it and talk about the core frustration that so many developers are dealing with right now. I mean, if you've ever tried to build an AI that does more than just chat, you have almost certainly felt this pain. It's clunky, it's way more complex than it should be, and it just feels like we're using the wrong tools for the job.
And to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to realize that we've kind of quietly slipped into a brand new era. We're past the age of simple chatbots. We are now officially in the age of AI agents. And that's the heart of it. We're in what's called the agentic era. We're moving way beyond systems designed just to have a conversation. Now, we're building agents that need to actually do things. They have to execute actions, call out to external tools like an API or a database, and string together these complex, multi-step workflows to get things done in the real world.
So here's the problem. The tool we've all been using, the industry-standard chat completion API, it just wasn't built for this new world. It was designed for a totally different time and, frankly, a totally different job.
And this slide just lays out that mismatch perfectly. On the left, you've got the simple back-and-forth conversations that chat APIs were made for. But on the right, that's what we're all trying to build today. AI agents that have to perform complex actions, that have to reason, and that have to use tools. We're basically trying to build systems for execution with an interface that was designed for dialogue. It's a classic square peg in a round hole situation. And this mismatch, well, it leads to what a lot of developers are now calling Agentic Hell. Your code becomes this tangled mess of text and tool calls. You find yourself manually writing these complicated loops just to get a single action done, which means you're making multiple trips back and forth to the API. All of this just bloats the context window, the model's short-term memory, and sends your token costs through the roof. And maybe worst of all, you have zero visibility into how the model is actually thinking its way through the problem.
So it's pretty clear we need a new standard, right? One that's actually built from the ground up for agents. And that is exactly where Open Responses enters the picture. Open Responses is the proposed way out of all this chaos. It's not just an update, it's a complete rethinking of the interface between us, the developers, and the large language models we're trying to work with.
Now, this is not just another company's proprietary API. Open Responses is an open-source specification. You can think of it like a shared blueprint for everyone to use. It was kicked off by OpenAI, but it's being built by the whole community to create this one, unified, multi-provider standard for building agents.
And it's all designed around three really smart core ideas. First, it's multi-provider. That means you write your code once and you can use it with models from OpenAI, Anthropic, or even open source providers. Second, it's purpose-built for agents, so it has consistent, reliable patterns for doing complex stuff. And third, it's extensible, which means different providers can add their own cool features without breaking that shared foundation.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this actually works, because the core innovation here is what makes this whole thing so elegant. The real power of Open Responses comes from a concept called the agentic loop. So, instead of you, the developer, having to manage that chaotic back and forth, the entire workflow gets handled on the server side in one clean operation. You know how it is today? You make a call, you wait, you check if it's a tool call, you run the tool, you send the result back. It's a mess. With this, you just describe the task, tell it what tools are available, and make one single request.
Let's just walk through this loop, because it's awesome. It all starts with one single complex request from you. And from that point on, the server takes over completely. The model starts reasoning. If it decides, hey, I need a tool, that tool gets called and executed right there on the server. The result from that tool is automatically fed right back into the model's thinking process. And this can happen over and over again, all within the server, until a single final output is ready and returned to you.
And this, right here, this is the breakthrough. The entire chain of thought, all the tool calls, all the results, it's all handled inside just one API request. The server is managing the entire loop for you. You don't have to do any of that manual orchestration in your code anymore. You just get a complete, structured output at the end with all the intermediate steps included. It is just a massive simplification.
So what does this all add up to? What's the bigger picture here? Well, this isn't just about writing cleaner code. It's about building a much more unified future for how we develop AI.
The real payoff is this shared foundation. We get true interoperability, which means our tools and our agents can actually work across different model providers. We get portability, so we can build an agent one time and then run it anywhere. And because it's being built by the community, it's going to evolve with the real needs of the developers who are out there building this stuff every day.
Ultimately, what this does is it lets us move away from this fragmented world of incompatible APIs. By standardizing this really complex interface for AI agents, we can all start building on a shared, stable foundation. And that means developers can spend less time worrying about the plumbing and more time on actual innovation. This is how we accelerate the entire field of AI.